Okay, I think many of you have. Yeah, okay. So let's start. Anyway, good morning, students, and welcome back to our online class, MEG 3, that is British novels. And in that, we are dealing with book 6, that is Heart of Darkness, the novel written by Joseph Conrad. Okay, okay. So, today we are going to deal with The Heart of Darkness, which is written by Joseph Conrad and which is published in 1899. Okay, and the era in which we are moving through in this novel is the Victorianism, or we can say the modernism, coming of modernism could be seen, and we can say that the literary period is Victorianism. Okay, and it's all about, as we talk about Victorianism, in most of the books, we know that which we have seen, there is the novels which we have seen so far, it deals with with the era of Victorianism itself. And many a time I have told you about the background of the political background of England at the time of the rule of reign of Queen Victoria, and we know that it was a land of full of opportunities, and it was a land of full of wealth in England. And the people of England were sufficient with all the wealth which they do had. And the main reason we know that imperialism, it was a time of imperialism. And we all know right from your small school time, you might have learned from your social studies that what imperialism is and colonialization is. We know that the power, imperialism means nothing but a huge power is dominating power is catching hold of the on the countries and ruling over there, making colonies there and ruling over there, and making all the benefits over that country. Okay, and as a post-colonial country, in India, we are Indians, and India is a post-colonial country. We know that what is imperialism better than anybody. Okay, so no need of explaining it much. Anyway, so it was a time of imperialism, and that was the main reason, one of the main reason that England was enjoying power, rule, everything. Okay, so they brought home a lot of wealth from all over the countries which are around them, and whatever wealth they are getting. See, when we talked about our see, if you are taking West Indies, I told you once that even the sugar cane were cultivated over there. It was a fertile land for sugar cane, and what they have done is that see, they just slaughtered the people over there to get more land to just to make the population half and get a more free land to cultivate the sugar cane. So while they were doing so, humanity, the name of humanity was washed off. The concept of humanity was washed off. Okay, so they actually human beings were are treated as animals, and more than worse than that. Okay, we can find that mm, uh, human beings actually were enslaved, and they were actually treated as slaves, and they were chained and made to do works over there. See what is happening actually, what was happening at that time. See the English people, they came to to their own country, and they are taking power over them. They are dominating in their country, and not only that, the indigenous people over there were treated in such a way that they couldn't live in their own country. See, they were enslaved and made, tortured and made, see, made wealth out of that, made profit out of them, and everything of them were looted and exploited. So, such a condition could be seen all over the world, most of the countries where this British Raj, or we can say that the British power, were catching hold of. Okay, so this very same thing was happening in African countries also. So here, we can, and they are taking the name of, they are doing this in the name of civilizing the people over the world, and they claim that they are civilized, they are educated, and they are got exposed, they are got exposure, and they do have the all the knowledge for them, and they want to, they are being enlightened. Okay, they feel like that they are being enlightened, and see, and they need to disseminate these enlightenment to all over the world, spread this enlightenment all over the world, and they have to civilize the people who are uncivilized. And they say that when they move around, it was an era of voyages. That can be, that's another peculiarity. Okay, it was an era of voyages, exploring new lands. We can find that Columbus, we know that how America was founded. See, it was a time of voyages, and the trading was done through voyages a lot. And people, most of their life, they spent in seas. And actually, it was a wonder that they lived in seas in search of new things, discovering new things, finding out that what is going around them, and what are the new things, new lands which they could more explore and all. Okay, so it was an era of voyages, and through these voyages, they found not new, actually, they discovered a land which was not yet been visited, and they found that the people over there, it's very easy for them to to capture them and to dominate them over there, and to make a profit out of them. And they just, actually, they were exploring the wealth which was spread all over the world, the resources which were spread all over the world. And to speak the truth, the European countries, most of them, they were lacking many resources. We know that. Okay, what, that's the main reason for America. Also, they are in search of resources. Actually, what they are, that's why they are dominating, to catch hold of resources all over, to spread out in our world. And this was the main reason of actually the hidden agenda of imperialism, than which they are claiming that they were claiming that they are doing this to spread civilization, to spread humanitarianism, everything, whatever good they do, they have achieved, they want to spread it all over the world. But in this name, they were actually exploiting the people over there. They were disturbing the calm life and the beautiful, enjoyed life of the people over there. And actually, if they were, we can find that through many stories and novels and all this. And if you are checking the history, we can find that the people were not treated as they were treated as the people who actually, if the white people were up to civilizing them, then they should be treated in a fine way. But actually, they were not treated in such a way. They were enslaved, they were chained, they were called criminals, they were made. See, if they are rejecting to do something, then they were called as criminals, and they were enforced to do many things which they didn't like to do. So so we can't see it as a helping actually, and we know that they called it as white man's burden to civilize the people all over the world. So in this name, actually, what had happened in those days were that a lot of exploitations and a lot of we can say that harsh treatment which were spread all over the world by this dominant power of British imperial rule. And these things were brought out by many novels which were written by the people of that countries, obviously. That such writings we can, you'll learn in your next year as new literature, that is post-colonial literature, that is the literature which came from the literature as an expression which came from those post-colonial countries. But now here we can see Joseph Conrad. See, As we were talking about the white, we can't generalize them as all the white people are in such a, say, inhuman, were carrying on such a inhuman way of life. See, many were there who didn't like this way of ruling, and they had a good heart in them, and they had the real enlightenment in them, the real culture in them, the real value of humanity in them. And such people among the white, they also started to write about these things, and they exposed what is happening all over the world in the name of imperialism. So, here, why am I talking all these things? Actually, see, this is the same background of what is happening in this lesson, that is, in this novel, that is The Heart of Darkness, which is written by Joseph Conrad. Okay, so let's see who is Joseph Conrad and what he is, why he is writing this particular novel and what he is up to. Okay, see, it's quite a good novel with a lot of expressions of humanity. We can't see plot here. It's not a story with the plot, a good plot, but we can see it's a story with character. It's a character based story than a plot based. Okay. So here we can see that Joseph Conrad, he was born in Ukraine. Okay, Ukraine. Have you heard of Ukraine? It's one of the country in Europe. Actually, it comes very close to Poland and Russia and all. Okay, that's Ukraine. And here he took birth from Ukraine, and his parents were actually Polish. And so, see, actually, Ukraine is a country. See, in your text, you can find the history of Ukraine. And Ukraine is a country where you can find a lot of mixture of classes that living over there, a mixture of languages, four languages, for many. It's a mixed country from all over the anyway, and it's the background of Joseph Conrad. And another thing is that when he was at the time, at the age of 7 years, his parents died, and he was a total orphan. And he spent few years in France. He went to France and learned seamanship. Okay, so I told you it was an age of voyages, and the people love to learn about the seamanship, and he learned it. And he left to England. Okay, so England is the center of all these things, and he left to England with an intention of becoming an officer in a British company over there, in a British ship in, sorry, not company, in a British ship in the 1878. Okay, so this particular novel has been written in 1899. And in 1890, so as he was a officer in ship, he had a lot of voyages, and he's a person who loved to see do these voyages, and he loved to be in traveling in ship and visiting a lot of new lands. As I told you, it was a spread of people in Victorian era, and that they had a mind of exploring new land. And this was the same condition, mindset, and interest which was there in the attitude of our Joseph Conrad. And he in 1890, he spent 6 months traveling. Okay, 6 months traveling with the sea, and the way to Congo. It was a journey to Congo. Okay, and it is in 1890 he had a journey to Congo, and that's in Africa. Okay, and he started riding over there 4 times. He had he started riding over there, and 1894 he again he had a wonderful trip to Congo, and he had a lot of experiences from there. See, I told you Congo is a country from Africa, and we can see that at that time, Belgium, Belgium was the country which was having the hold over the imperial hold over Congo. And the Congo, we can say that Congo was completely under the power, dominant power of Belgium, And when Joseph Conrad he visited Belgium, Congo, he could find that the people over there were treated in a very bad condition, very bad way, and they were enslaved, and they were treated in a harsh manner. Okay, and if the imperial power was disturbing and indulging in a more affected way in the life of these people. So this could be watched by Joseph Conrad, and he had a lot of experiences in that journey. And in his journey, he wrote a diary. Okay, and its name is Diaries during the journey, and that particular diary, okay, is it's a lot of experiences in that, and it is the thing which that then was converted to the novel Heart of Darkness by Joseph Conrad itself in 1899, and he published it. Okay, so this is the background of Heart of Darkness. It's a journey to Congo by Joseph Conrad. It is an after effect, we can say. It has been inspired by a journey to Congo by Joseph Conrad, and it's all about the experiences which he had from there in that journey. And so we can say that as it is sharing the experiences, we could call it as an autobiographical novel. Okay, so yeah, it could be called as an autobiographical novel because it's full of experiences of Joseph Conrad. Okay, then and we can see that Joseph Conrad wrote this novel at the height of European colonization and over African continents. Okay, and we can say that he started to write. He shared his experiences of this journey to Congo in this novel by through a character called Marlowe. Okay, so in this novel we can find a central character Marlowe, who is the narrator of the story, and and through Marlowe we are traveling through this novel. Okay, so Marlowe is the narrator, and we can find that the autobiographical version of Joseph Conrad could be seen through Marlowe. Okay, so this is Marlowe's reason of being the character in this particular novel. So now let me talk something about the Belgian colonization of Congo and the ivory trade over there. So I told you, wherever these white people are sticking, we can find a reason for it. As I told you, beyond their claim of white man's burden of civilizing the countries, we can find that some hidden agenda will be there for them for trading or for, we can't say it as a trading because in a trade or in a business both should be benefited actually, but it's not happening. It is just looting, we can see. And as I talked about West Indies and sugar cane, what's here which they need? Why Congo is being pinpointed? The thing is ivory. Okay, the elephant ivory. You know what's an ivory is, isn't it? The incisors of elephant, anaconda. Okay, anaconda norile. Yeah, that's the ivory. So the ivory was the eye. So they had an eye on the ivory of Congo, the elephants of African elephants, which was too costly and which was made. So such a trading companies were being established in Congo by these indigenous people. Just think about it. See the trading companies of ivory. Okay, so the ivory trade companies were established in Congo by many European countries. See, European countries, we know it's not England alone. We can find many countries. Okay, and Belgium had a dominancy over this Congo, and we could find that not only so in the 1800s we can find that. King Leopold II, that is in Belgium, led a group of investors to form a trading company to control trade along the Congo River. So that's a river called Congo River. That's the access to this area, Congo. And it is through that Marlowe or Joseph Conrad is also approaching this particular country. And so this river, Congo River, is the main access to that particular area, and we can find that Leopold too. He is a Belgian ruler king, and he led a group of investors, and he came over there, and he found that it's a good opportunity for him to make a profit out of it, and he just he ran the colony as his own personal property over there by separating all the Belgian government and all. And his rule was particularly harsh on the people, okay? And not only the people, all the entire environment. It was being completely exploited in an inhuman way, and Belgians were enslaved. The indigenous people of Congo and were completely chained. We can say they were made to do works by getting chained, and were forced them to strip the resources using torture, humiliation, and even murder could be seen to make this profit out of the land. Okay. And it is in 1888 to 90, about 140 tons of ivory were exported from Congo. Okay, 140 tons, just imagine, of ivory were exported from Congo. And it is in 1888, in between 1888 and 1890. Okay, and by this time, millions of indigenous people or native people of Congo were murdered. Okay, and they were murdered, and and the population was reduced to half of it. And we can find that it was a really very pathetic condition of Congo. And this is the a real history of Congo, the people over there. Just think about what would have been passed over them. And we can find that after that they were brought up and raised, and in 1960s, it's in 1960s that we can find that they became completely independent a country as ours of India. Okay, so this is all about Congo. And now you might have see I have told this history to just to understand that what were the activities of the white people in this particular country and why they are in Congo to put all see all these things, all this history area is very very important even to understand this novel. Okay, we can't understand why this novel is being written and what is the real essence of this novel. See, this novel, as the other novels which we have found so far, is entirely different in the style of writing. Because in other novels we can find a plot and we can tell a story that this guy went there and this what happened, then this happened, love affairs, all these things, all the plots are there. But here the thing is about the characterization. Okay, through a character, we are being taken to the experiences of Joseph Conrad to express the views, or we can say that the cat was out of bag after this novel. That could be told. Okay, now let us see what's the story is. And the story actually, as I told you, is more character based, and the central character, the very important character who is being used as instrumentalized by Joseph Conrad to um, express the whole or to build up the whole novel is Kurtz. Kurtz, Kurtz, the character. He is a German. Okay, Kurtz is a German and he's a character in this, the central character here. And then it's Marlowe. Marlowe is the narrator, and we know that Marlowe is the person that is through whom, or the character through whom we can see the Joseph Conrad and his experiences. So we have to see through these two characters, and by going through these two characters, we can find the whole novel, the whole experiences of the novel. Okay, now that let's see what the story is. A ship, a ship called Nellie is caught at the river of Thames in England. See, so a ship is ready for voyage. It's out for voyage, and it is moving through the sea. And when it found itself in the river Thames in England, it caught hold there for a while because a storm came and this ship was waiting for the storm to be calm. Okay. So the people inside the ship, we are concentrating on the five people are there, and the captain, host, lawyer, and captain is the host. Okay, then a lawyer is there, and an unnamed narrator is there, and okay, then our Marlowe is there. Marlowe is the central character. So we can say that Marlowe, along with his friends, that is, other friends, are sitting in the ship and they're waiting for the storm to get calmed. And it's in River Thames that they have been got hold. So now, in this particular juncture, we can find that Marlowe is aged and still aged, and we can find that it is Joseph Conrad actually. And as I told you, Joseph Conrad was a person who was very much interested in voyages. And we can, if we are taking the life of Joseph Conrad, we can see that 20 years of his life was in sea. If we are calculating the total, we could find that 20 years of Joseph Conrad was spent in the sea, in ship. Okay, so that was his experience. It was a treasure of experience in the sea voyage. Okay, and this is a particular journey to Congo, and this particular experience is being reflected here. Don't forget that. Okay, so come back to the story. So Marlowe is sitting in the deck and he is talking to his friends, and he once says that England also was one of the dark places of on the earth. England also was one of the dark places in England. So why he is telling this? See, which darkness is being told here. See, because England was telling that people all over the world other than them are in darkness and they are being enlightened. So here Marlowe is telling that England also was in darkness. Okay, they were also in darkness, and in it is also a place of darkness. That's the comment of Marlowe, and he is exposing the reason, and he's telling a story to his friends about the journey to Congo. Okay, so Marlowe is telling that he's opening the story, and through now the story is coming. So the story, a story inside a story, that is the narrator is there and he's talking to his friends and he's opening up a story. So now Marlowe is the narrator. Okay, and Marlowe starts to tell a story, and he tells that um, in his young age, when Marlowe was too young, he happened to visit a area called a place called Congo in Africa. So he had a visit to Africa in that is Africa, Congo, and from there he had a lot of experiences. And actually, actually Marlowe was longing much to visit a country like that and to see the people over there, to watch that what is all this imperialism happening and what are the people doing all over the world, and he was longing for a voyage like that, and he got a wonderful chance to visit to Congo. And when he was there, he found that the people are treated in a very harsh manner, and the country is completely colonized by by the English people. So Marlowe could reach there, and he is there because Marlowe was there because he signed to with an European company and with an ivory extraction operation by it. Okay, so I think you have got the idea. Marlowe is talking about a story. He's telling a story in which he was young, once he was young, and at that time he could find, one second, yeah, at that time he could find that he got a very wonderful opportunity to visit the area Congo in the name of as an officer in an European company that is an ivory extraction operation company. Just think about the name of that company. The name itself is Ivory Extraction Company. Okay, so Marlowe is there. Marlowe was there in his young age because he signed in that company and he went there as an assigned officer, and he was there. He was sent there with a purpose because the company hired Marlowe in Europe and gave him the task of picking one of their agents. Okay, in Africa, a man called Kurtz. Okay, and to relieve him out of his duty. So Marlowe is there because he want to find a person, an agent of this ivory company, who is there in out there in Congo, and he wanted to be traced and relieved from his duty. So this is the purpose why Marlowe is in Congo. Actually, inside him, he had a mind, he had a longing to visit the country and to find the people over there and to see what's things happening. And he got a golden opportunity of that assigning, with getting such an assignment of finding this particular person, Kurtz. So here in the opening itself, we could understand that Kurtz is being talked about, but he is not being shown. So Kurtz is a person, is a German who is a agent of this ivory company. Okay, so Kurtz is assigned to make more and more ivory for this company, that is for this European company. Okay, and now that Kurt's needed relieving from his duty, and before that, and Kurtz has been got hold in that particular area, and Marlowe is being sent to find this Kurtz and relieve him from the duty. So this is the purpose of Marlowe. And see, we can find that this company was collecting ivory consistently and than any other companies all over the world. Okay, so there were a station, company stations were there, and now what you want to understand is the geographical situation of Congo. So here we can see that a river is there. As I told you that a river is there, and through this river they can get the access to this particular area, and this Congo, and the outer part, in the outer part, outskirts of the continent, that we can see of Congo, we can see the actually the outer stations of ivory company. Okay, then as we move inner to the land, we can find a central station of ivory. Then there's an inner station in the deeper forest. Okay, so the ivory is being collected from this deeper forest, the thick, dense forest jungle, and there's an inner station there which is very see dangerous area, and that Kurtz is there in the inner station. He is been assigned in the inner station, and he's an agent over there to collect this ivory from there, and so that's the situation. See, there's an inner station to collect ivory in the thick forest, and then we can find a central station just to get an access to this inner station and this outer station. And there's an outer station which is very close to the river, and through this river, the ivory is being taken back to England. Okay, so this is the company, the stations of the company, and this is the geographical stations which is being situated. There's an outer station, central station, and inner station. So, as Marlowe approaches, we can find that Marlowe is approaching to the outer station first, and he reaches there. He see, with the goal of finding this person, that is, we know that Marlowe is being assigned to find out Kurds, and with the goal of finding this particular Kurds, Marlowe is proceeding his travel, and he first embarks at the coastal outer station. So the outer station is in the coastal area, and he first embarks in the outer station and then travels 200 miles to the company's central station. Okay, so first he reaches the outer station, and from there he finds the officers over there, and he talks to them and gets all the permission and things to travel further to the central station. And then he starts to the central station, that is 200 miles away from this outskirts. And then once there, Marlowe learns that, see, and so he reaches in the central station, and once there he learns that his steamer is being caught there. Okay, his steamer, actually it is been his officers tell that his steamer is being sunk at the bottom of the river. So Marlowe is he got hold in that particular area, and he's really astonished to read that he's been caught there, and actually he had a goal of reaching the inner station and find the skirts, but now he's been caught in the central station. And we can find he visits the officer there, that is the manager. Okay, the manager there, and from his manager he could understand that it's very he tells that the manager tells that it's very grave at the inner station, and it's very dangerous, and he should be more conscious and all. And it is there the Kurds is been living or staying. Okay, and Marlowe is again told that it will take about 3 months to repair his steamer. So Marlowe is really, 1 second. Yeah, okay. Sorry for the interruption. So we can find that when he comes at the central station, he's been told that his steamer is sunk and in the river, and it needs 3 months to repair the steamer. So it's nothing to do. Then Marlowe was staying there. He decides to just explore the area over there and all. And from that area, from the discussions of the people, he could understand that Kurtz is a person who has been hailed, who has been many talks could be heard about Kurtz. See, Kurtz is such a person. He could encounter the elephants alone, just like he was equivalent to 10 people. And you see, he's such a person who is very much experienced and all. Okay, so Kurtz is being hailed by the people, and he is being praised in such a way that he's such an excellent. worker, excellent agent, and all. And so from this many conversations and all, Marlowe could and Marlowe he actually, though he was set to, he had a goal of finding Kurds just because he's been assigned by the company. But now he has got a great curiosity to visit and to find this Kurds and to see him once and to talk to him about the things. And see, he's such a hero over there in the area. And so the curiosity and the see all this see longing for Kurds is being increased in the mind of Marlowe. And once Marlowe he overhears a conversation of this manager, that is the central manager of the central station, and one of his uncle, that see, it's actually this steamer is not having such a problem. See, our Marlowe is being caught there for a long while because Kurtz is ill in the inner station, and he's about to die. He is in a poor health condition, and they need Kurtz to get. See, they are wishing, they are hoping for the death of Kurtz, and they are in an anxiety that if Marlowe could reach there before the death of Kurtz, then Kurtz will recover his health, and what will happen is that it is a threat for their job because Kurtz is taking the full, see, their job is being found in a, see, it could be told that the skill or the ability of Kurtz is an obligation for the job of the people manager and all the other people there, because Kurtz is taking the full say benefit out of all this collecting ivory, and he's getting such a name over there. So these people are jealous, and they need more, they are more purposeful, and they need the death of Kurtz, and they want to delay the reach of Marlowe to the inner station. That's why they are just prolonging that is the repair of the steamer. So this was overheard by Marlowe, and Marlowe could understand the situation, that what the Kurtz is, and see where the Kurtz is, and he's been caught there in a illness and in a health problem, and he is in need of Marlowe. And also, all these things, all these discussions is actually astonishing Marlowe, that such a person, such a able person that like her, see, he now his wish of visiting or meeting this Kurtz is increasing and increasing in such a manner that he was and now he sets out. Okay, now the eventually the what happened is that the steamer gets ready, and Marlowe along with this central officer and many other a gang of people, he is just setting out to the inner station to meet this Kurtz. Okay, and as they were approaching the inner station, they could find that the indigenous people over there, indigenous means the native people of that area, okay? The indigenous people over there, they started to disturb their voyage, and they just started to see, first they attacked over them, then they made a lot of fog over there that they could see, which could inhibit their travel and all. See, all these problems were overcame, and what happened is that see, Marlowe and the officer, they just moved through, and we can find that one of the actually the driver or the of this particular steamer, he is being attacked. In the attack, he dies, and all these things happens. Okay, so many attacks are happening by the indigenous people, and they could find that by this Marlowe understood that the people are not. Wishing Marlowe to reach there and to get Kurtz. Okay, so Marla is getting a lot of, he's revealing a lot of things about Kurds gradually, gradually. And as he's moving, he in between a person uh, called, see, a Russian man is being met by Marlowe. He is in a dress of, we can find that just like a comedian, okay? And we can find that, that, one second, what's his name? I don't think. Yeah, actually, that guy is being dressed in a patchworked clothes, and it's of different colors, and we can find that a funny person, okay, just like a comedian, a Russian person. And he meets Marlowe, and he from him, Marlowe learned that Kurtz is a person who is being admired by the indigenous people. Okay, so actually, we had got an idea that Kurtz is there to make the complete wealth out of that area. That is, he's an agent of ivory. Yeah, obviously, he was a person who is an agent of ivory, and he's been assigned to bring out maximum ivory from the inner thick forest. Okay, but gradually, what happened is that Kurtz got mingled with the people of indigenous people of Congo in the inner area, and he started to sing for the people, he started to live for the people, and the people started to like him, and they had a good rapport there. Okay, so Kurtz was, and gradually what happened is that Kurtz became a man in that area. Okay, he became a leader or a revolutionist in that area. And Kurtz had a lot of, say, it had an intention of reviving the people, the real intention, the intention actually which was being the mask, the purpose which was being told to mask the world, that is to mask all this trading, and to mask all this, what to say, exploiting the condition. It was being told that the people should be civilized, and the people, they are there to civilize them, isn't it? So here we can find the Kurds who is having the real enlightened mind, and he is there for the indigenous people of the Congo. And so this is because he lived in the inner part, and he started to mingle with the people of Congo, and he started to love them. He started to sing for them. He started to live for them, and he started to understand their worries and understand their situation. And he thought that, yeah, that we are in need of a support to get out of this problem in which they are being caught. So he started to enlighten them, to teach them then what is happening for their country. And we can find that Marlowe is learning the Kurds. Apart from the agent as an ivory agent, he could learn from many experiences and many things which was going around him, that Kurtz is a revolutionist in the area of Congo. Okay, so now Marlowe is a person, we know that he is there not with a mind of making profit out of all these things, but he was longing to visit the people of the country of Congo. And just the job is a namesake thing, or it was a way to reach his intention and all, we know. So now Marlowe started to admire Kurtz. Okay, just see that till now Marlowe hasn't met our Kurtz. Okay, he hasn't seen Kurtz, but he could hear a lot about Kurtz. And before meeting him itself, Marlowe could understand that what sort of person Kurtz is, and why Kurtz is being hailed by the people, why Kurtz is being loved and admired by the indigenous people of Congo. And he could learn that why the company needs to take him back from the area. The real reason of the company to taking him back from the Congo inner station, and why Kurtz is not going by himself from there. All these things are being revealed now. Okay, are you getting the idea of the story? The core of the story? So this is the reason why Marlowe has been assigned to find this Kurtz and bring him and to relieve him from his duty. So now that Marlowe could understand the real thing, the core thing which is happening in the area, in the inner station of Congo. And by the by the action or by the reaction of the people, we can find that the people, indigenous people, how they are taking the visit of Marlowe. See, they are reacting in a very dangerous manner. They are attacking on Marlowe. So from this we can understand that those people are not wishing to take Kurtz from there, because Kurtz is their revolutionaries. Kurtz is their leader. And it has been told that a lot of people, it has been known that Kurtz, from a lot of people, we can understand that Kurtz is ill and he is about to die there. He is seriously ill, out of his health and all. We could learn from the discussions and the conversations which are going through in the novel. Okay. And now that from the Russian person, a comedian like person, we can understand that Kurds, what really Kurds is for the people of Congo. He suggests that so the people, though we know that Kurtz is taking a lot of ivory from the area, and he had collected a lot of, he has attacked a lot of elephants over there by himself. He's a strong built person, he's very skilled and all. So gradually, the things have changed, the situation has changed and all. And, and at last, we can find that Marlowe reaches Kurtz, and he finds that can't actually Kurtz can't speak properly. He is being he's been brought in a stretcher, and he is not able to walk even or to talk even. But as Kurtz met Marlowe, he exchanges some documents to Marlowe, and some serious documents with that is all the report of what he has done over there, because he was an officer and now he's about to die, and he want to give back this to the company. And there's a lot of reports that all these reports were handed over to Marlowe, and along with that he just gave a report to Marlowe, and Marlowe reads this report, and he could find that in the report, our Kurtz is arguing that God-like wives can bring civilization to Africa. Again, God-like white can bring civilization to Africa. At first, in this, by reading this report, Marlowe feels that, see, why this guy is, see, actually he has gone mad. But gradually, he could understand that, yeah, if really the darkness, actually, he could feel that, yeah, the darkness is not in the people of Africa. What Kurtz is intending is that the darkness is not in the people of Africa or Congo. The darkness is not in Congo, but the darkness is in the mind of white people, the darkness of culture, the darkness of humanity. See, the darkness, everything is in dark. All the culture, humanity, education, enlightenment, all these things which they have got, everything is in darkness. So he is commenting that only God like white can bring civilization in Africa. So let's see, that's the main core theme which we can see in this novel, and this is all about which Joseph Conrad is trying to express through this novel. And and we can find that see now Kurtz is sorry, Marlowe approaches Kurtz and the area, and even he could find that a lot of, see, where Kurtz is being hold, see, Kurtz is being held, a lot of see, posts are there with cut heads are cut on the post. Okay, so such fences with several human heads on it could be seen. Real human heads have been caught on the say on the post. So this was a we can see the savage people over there in a sense. Then so when they arrived there, Kurtz is being taken in the stretcher, and we can find that to next to the feeling about Kurtz, Marlowe agrees to protect his people and his reputation when Marlowe returns to Europe. Okay, so Marlowe promises that all the people will be protected. This was the promise which Marlowe gives to Kurtz at the time of illness, and Kurtz is being taken in the stretcher to the steamer. As it was happening, the people started to attack over them, but Kurtz just calms them and tells them he is leaving. And then people are watching the whole people. They are being rounded and they are standing over there watching Kurtz taken to the steamer, and they are watching. They are in a very, very deep sorrow that Kurtz is getting away from them, and all, see, and we can find that the steamer with Kurtz is getting away from the people, and the whole people are standing round in the that in that coastal area. And by this, it is could be seen that all their hope of that is independence, or the hope of getting away from all this threat, terror, that hope is getting away from them. Okay, so it's a great feeling of sorrow which we can find, a feeling of dejection of people who are watching that Kurds, the symbol of revolution in their land, is getting away from them. All the hope of revolution, all the strength which was there inside them is being brought away from them. Okay, so that's a very symbolic scene which we can see in this novel, and Kurds is being taken in the steamer. And in the voyage back to England, when Kurds is being taken, we can find that Kurds, when Marlowe once again visits Kurds in in the ship, and he finds that Kurds is trying to tell something to Marlowe, and at last two words came out of his mouth, that is horror, the horror, the horror, the horror. That's the last words which Kurtz is uttering. Okay, and as then he can't complete anything, and he's just right there. Then when the people in the ship were having dinner, a boy runs and comes and tells that yeah, Kurtz is no more. Okay, he dies, and the people in the ship, they just leave the dinner, and they just runs to visit him and finds that Kurtz is died. Okay, and so we can see that the last words Marlowe hears from saying, hears him saying is the horror, the horror. So just think that how far that Kurtz has taken the situation of Congo, the horror situation of Congo in him. His last breath, even in his last breath, he is expressing that feeling of horror. The situation of Congo is being expressed through the mouth of Kurtz. So all, see, here we can find that Kurtz is not talking. Any conversation of Kurtz could be seen. No conversation of Kurtz could be seen. Much dialogues are not there for Kurtz, but we can find that Kurtz is the central character. and we can find he is the embodiment of humanity in this particular novel. And as Marlowe reaches say Europe with the dead body of Kurds and all the documents with him. He just publishes the reports and to the journals of publication, and he gives the documents to Kurds' family. And once, at last, his fiancée, that is Kurds' fiancée, visits Marlowe to see him because as Marlowe is the person who met Kurtz as the last person who met Kurtz. She comes there to visit Marlowe, and she asked him that what was that Kurtz told at last. Okay, what did he say at the time of death? Did he tell something to you? At last, what he told. So at that time, Marlowe recollects the words, the horror, the horror. Marlowe knew that what was there completely in the mind of Kurds. It was completely the people of the indigenous people of Africa. But he couldn't say that to the lady who was waiting to hear the lover of Kurds, who was waiting to hear the romantic expression of curse. So Marlowe see that, yeah, what he just uttered your name at the time of death. Okay, so Marlowe tells a lie there because she is longing to hear that. So we can find that what sort of person Marlowe is. Marlowe is a very good-hearted person. And another thing which reveals through this is that the people, the white people, especially the German, the European people, like the fiancé of Kurds, they are in a world of romanticism. They are in a world of love, romantic, and all. But Kurtz, just think about Kurtz. He has seen the reality of life. He has seen, he utters the horror, the horror. So the people with enlightenment were in need of in need of changing their mind to from all these fantasies and enjoying the all the wealth in the European country, and we should get out to the world and see what the people around are and what they are suffering, and they are in need of white, real white people, not white in their face or skin, but white in their heart, the real people with all their whiteness from their heart, not with the darkness in their heart. So this was the message of which that particular scene is being revealing in this novel. Okay, so here Conrad has made such a scene of fiancé who is in need of listening to that romantic expression from the words of from the mouth of Kurtz in his last end breath, and we can find that really what Kurtz is telling and what is reality and what is fantasy. See, so here we can find that Joseph Conrad is trying to separate the mind or the attitude of the people that one in one area in the world, that in the European countries which was enjoying the Victorianism, which is enjoying the full-fledged wealth and enlightenment and every entertainment and fantasies and every see what to say every embroideries of life, we can say they are making every embroideries and every expressions of life they are enjoying at that time. All the people at the same time, there are people, there are area in the world which has been caught in this subjugated, which has been suppressed and caught hold in a very horror, in a very terrific way by these people. And the white are enjoying out of the sweat of this such people who are in need of them, who are in need of the a real enlightenment of mind, the real enlightenment of the white people. So this is the real theme which is being expressed through this novel, And there comes the end of the novel, the story. And we can find that the story ends, and don't forget that the story is being told by Marlowe in his old age, and this is all happening in his young age. And as he answers to his fiancée that yeah, he uttered your name, there ends the story, which Marlowe was narrating from the ship to his friends, his four friends around him, the ship Nelly, which is being caught in the Thames River. Don't forget that. And again, as the story ends, it is being brought back to the friends. That is Marlowe in the old age, and he is talking to his friends, and he tells the friends who are listening to the Marlowe, they could understand the real reality of the need of humanity, which is very much needed in this world. Okay, so this is the end of the novel. And so, what I have to tell here is that. See, you can't find a story here. It's nothing that if I'm telling the story in a 5 minutes, I can just finish it in 5 minutes, telling that yeah, it's all about that Marlowe, a person is being assigned by the British Ivory Company, ivory extracting company, and which has been established in the Congo, and many companies are there, and Marlowe is being assigned to bring back a person, an agent of this company who is caught hold in the inner station of Congo, and he is in need of bringing back this person, and this person is and Marlowe is out for that, and in between he could understand this that the he what really is what sort of person is being asked to or what is really his task, and he knows it in between the journey, and what sort of person is what sort of person is this Kurds of him, he Marlowe is in search of, and actually he's a revolutionary person, and he's being asked to bring back this person, and he had a lot of encounters in between. That is, his steamer, it goes wrong, and he finds that the officers, they want Kurds to get back from the job, or even they are wishing for the death of Kurds, because Kurds has become a man among them, and among the indigenous people. And Marlowe again goes there and finds Kurds very ill, and he's being brought back in stretchers, and the people are very much loving him, and they are not wishing to send him back to England, Europe or England, and the people, they are bidding farewell for them with all their sigh, by standing emotionally. It is being picturized, and it is being brought back, and in between, on the way, Kurtz is dying, and he and all the reports and documents are being given to handed over to Marlowe, and in between the travel, Kurtz is dying, and he talks about horror, and his fiancée comes, and see all these things. If you are taking just as a story, it's nothing is there, but I think it is an embodiment of values. It is a see this novel is a we can find that it is a treasure of experiences, the real expression of the feeling, the emotions, and the real situation, the darkness which is being found in the mind of white people, the real darkness of, see, they are out of all the humanity, the values of humanism, and they are out of every goodness in them. They are only thinking about the profit and wealth. So, such a thing is there, which is being revealed through this particular novel. And again, it is calling for this novel is calling for the people from white, that who has got real whiteness in them. who, and it is calling for the people of white, that is the real the white, to wash off the darkness from their mind, that which is being spreaded in their mind. The real darkness is there in the mind of the white people, not in the area, or not in the African countries, or not in the other colonial countries, but the real darkness is inside the people of people, inside the white and their mind. So, such a call for the people, such a call for the real minded or real revolutionary minded people are there in this particular novel, which Joseph Conrad is calling for. And so this is all about the novel. So we have found that the novel is it is having no much say happenings or actions, but it tells a lot more things. So in order to enjoy this particular novel, we have to read it. Okay, so you can go through the journey, through the experiences, and can find that how far. See, we are just enclosing all the experiences and all the torture of people which of African countries which who have been enslaved. All their experiences we are just accommodating in one or two lines, or we are just discussing in at least we are just discussing in just a paragraph or in just an essay, but it's not that much. See, it's more than that. It was more than that. We can find that many writings could be seen on this the suffering of especially the black people. Okay, because the main thing was racism, which we can find that just because they are black, see, they are being considered as see, their color of their skin was related to their knowledge, related to their mind, related to their see. But who has found this? Who has equated it like that? Who has who brought it first that white is good and black is bad? See, or white is the concept of civilization and black is the concept of uncivilization, and white is the concept of enlightenment, and black is the concept of savage people or uncultured people. White is cultured and black is uncultured. Who told this? See, actually, it is everything was exploitation, and you can find that this black people. See, actually, if we are talking, they were physically they are built. See, muscular. If you are taking the physical nature of black people, we can find them. They are strong enough. See, if we can see that if they touches a white man, he will just fall down there, and but their mind were caught, their mind were colonized, their mind were held up and chained, and they were taught that see, they are uncultured and these white are cultured and they are dominant and they are powerful. So such a notion inside these people made them to suffer. Actually, it made them to accept that yeah, we are born as slaves, we are here to serve the white people. And this particular notion, and again a notion was imposed upon them that see, the black people, they are having see, they as they are black and they're ugly looking, see, they couldn't be accepted, or they couldn't be taken to the main walks of life, but or the main scenario and all. No, and so such a notion made them to suppress themselves. To it actually subjugated them, marginalized them to the in the world, and actually, it is their own mind which is being colonized. As Ngugi wa Thiong'o, a Kenyan writer, he's a very good writer who expresses through his novels that see, the need is that the chain of colonization in the mind of black people should be broken, and then only they could they could progress forward and enjoy the world and all the opportunities of world. See, he's telling the truth actually. See, we know that physically they are healthy and wealthy. Actually, physically they are wealthy. And if we are taking culture, see, many cultural studies are taking, if we are going through many anthropology or cultural learnings and all, we can find that, see, Africa is a country of culture, a country of, and if you're taking language and all, see, it's their language is rich in every rhetoric devices, many we can find the whatever they are talking completely it is filled with metaphorical expressions and all. So the African language is such a literally beautiful language. So what do you mean by then culture? See, what do you mean by then education? Just people themselves have standardized a particular language, and if those who knows that language that they are educated, and the people who are dominant they are telling that yeah, this is the real touchstone or the milestone of what is civilization, what is culture, and those who are adhering to that they are being called as civilized. But the real world, what is this actually? The real world is the mind, what is real culture actually? Which person could be called as really cultured? A person who could accommodate, who could incorporate all the people in the world with their own cultures, with their own religion, beliefs, and with their own ways of life. Then that person could be called as real cultured person. So this is the message which Joseph Conrad is calling for, or we can say that Joseph Conrad is expressing through the words of Kurtz that God with white can only civilize the people of Africa. So that's a wonderful words which we can find, and in the opening of the novel itself we can find that Marlowe, when he is very old and when he's talking, when he's about to share the story with his friends, he's telling that yeah, England is also one of the dark place in the world. Yeah, actually, England was the real dark place in the world because they didn't have the real sense of culture, the real sense of accommodating the people in as their own ways. Okay, as what they are. See, if somebody should be taught and educated, it should be taught by keeping them in their own platform, by weighing them. Sorry, by giving them the value of their own what they are, and keeping their values one can educate them, keeping their own background or keeping the values of a person. See, a human is a human, and that is the greatest value which we should give for a man, and that value should be given. And if that man, if you are in feeling like you have to educate or enlighten a person or to progress a person, then first you should give that value to that person and then give him more, help him more to climb up. So that was not the way which the imperialist white power had done over all these colonized areas. So such a attitude of whites are very openly lashed up by Joseph Conrad. And now let us discuss about the symbols which are being used here. It's very important. And here we can find the symbol of darkness, which is being told. What do you mean by darkness? As we have discussed here, darkness means where there is no light, isn't it? So darkness is a symbol. The name of heart of darkness. The darkness is a biggest symbol which is being used here, and we can find that the darkness shows that where there is no light or enlightenment. And And as it is being the notion which is being given by the people of white, that white, that is darkness is in the areas all over the world other than their country. This was the notion. This was the concept which was put forward or pinpointed by the white to to make their own way out and exploit. Okay, so the little darkness in the river and the thick forest, all these things. See, as the novel is moving, we can find that as they move through the river, there's a thick little darkness. And when he is entering to the thick forest into the inner station, we can find that there is darkness. So that so Conrad says that that's not darkness. And actually, it is a metaphorical darkness in the hearts of the company agents. Okay, he says that the darkness which they are feeling as the company agents, it's not the darkness of that particular area, but it is the darkness in their mind which is making them to feel darkness over there. Because see, they are experiencing the darkness, and they could find it is a mysterious places over there because their mind is caught hold of darkness, and they couldn't see anything through that darkness. So that darkness in the mind of the people of company agents, that they it should be first unveiled. Okay, that darkness should be first driven out. Then only they could see through the real people of Congo. Then only they could see through the real need of the people of Congo. And then only they could really help and civilize them. They can really help them to bring up them to empower the people of Black, or the no, or the people of Congo, and bring up them to the world of civilization and enlightenment. So, this metaphorical use of darkness is a very big symbol. This should be written in your exam paper whenever you are answering this particular novel. So, never forget the symbol of darkness. Okay, then comes ivory. So, we know that, see, the whole story. So the second symbol is ivory. Okay, ivory. And we know that the whole story is set up with the company of Ivory Extraction Company, and they are the people who has made a lot of stations over around the area of Congo, and they are in actually making profit out of this ivory and all. But the ivory is a symbol. Okay, it symbolizes the greed. It symbolizes the corruption of the people. See how openly they are discussing that they have got stations of ivory extraction. Just think about it. It was just generalized, and it was made in a very normalized, actually. Okay, we can find that the extraction of ivory is being talked, or it is being discussed in this novel in such a way that it is been very normal practice. Okay, so it has been normalized by the discussion, open discussion in this novel. So that particular thing, that particular practice, or even it as company is being a wide. See, not only a single company, we can find a lot of European companies over there, and we are put in discussion about a company which is constantly making profit out of this that is extraction of ivory. Okay, so we are talking about the leading company here, and there are many other companies which you can find. So the practice of extracting ivory is normalized. It is being considered as a normal way of trading, and we can find that actually what it is really revealing. Actually, it is revealing the greediness of white people. Actually, it is revealing the corruption of white people. See, we can't find the real trading there. See, the all the ivory which is being brought from there, it is being looted. See, the people are not benefited out of it. The people, the indigenous people, that the country from which the ivory is being brought, that country is not being benefited out of such a trade of ivory. Actually, it is a looting. Actually, it is, see, exploitation which we can see here, a total exploitation, a 10% exploitation which could be seen here. Actually, we can call it as robbery even. Actually, it is stealing which they are doing. Okay, so such a robbery which is being normalized is being symbolized here, that is ivory. It shows the, see, ivory is white in color, and it shows the, that is, the greed of the people of white. Okay, and corruption of the people of white. So that is the symbol ivory. Then we can see that, a person, that is, we can see a harlequin. Harlequin means a comedian, isn't it? A person is being met by Marlowe in between in the central station. That is a Russian person. I talked about him in the story, isn't it? I think you can recollect him with a multiple colored dress and, say, patchwork dress and all. See, he is being introduced in the novel to show that, see, actually he's a comedian. Like, we can find that, see, he's a mad person or he's what a eccentric person he is and all. But there's an importance for this person as a symbol. Actually, he's a symbolic representation here. He's being presented as a symbolic way, to show the absurdity of the situation. Okay, so actually, the situation is that, Marlowe is being told that a person called Kurtz is being caught up in the inner station, and he is an agent of, Ivory Company, Ivory Extraction Company, and he is in need of, getting relieving from his duty and bringing out from there. He's been caught there. Okay, but the real situation is other way, and, actually, Kurtz is, being needed for, he actually, the people, indigenous people are in need of a person like Kurtz, and they are admiring him, and they don't want Kurtz to be taken from there. And Kurtz is being hailed and praised by the people. They loved him, and they are taking care of him there in their own way. And see, such a, so there's an absurdity, okay, in the purpose of Marlowe. And see, actually, Marlowe couldn't understand what is actually going on, and this particular real reality is being, brought out through the mouths of this comedian, or through the mouths of this lunatic person, that is that Russian comedian. Okay, so that's a symbol of absurdity, the absurd situation. See, we know that wherever, if you can find that these white people, they always, for the profit, they always keep the values aside. See, if it is in the case of the freedom fight, if you are taking the example of Indian freedom fight, we can find that, wherever they were in a problem of a person, see, wherever they find that their plan is not going in the real way, or their plan is just got disturbed by a person, or they can't, see, see, they can't, get along with the situation in their own easiness, they are just cutting them off in any means. See, and any hindrances have been, see, there's no, uh, no values or moral values, no room for moral values to be seen. See, if you're taking the cases like, see, just think about how Tipu Sultan was caught. Tipu Sultan was caught by, getting hold of his own very, see, close, very close person. Like, and he cheats Tipu Sultan, isn't it? And the word given to that person was that British people, they will give them all the benefit out of it. And once when Tipu Sultan is being cheated and killed, what happened to that person? He was killed by the white, isn't it? So cheating over cheating. Then comes in the case of Parashi Raja, we know that what happened. He was also being cheated uh, by the one from them itself, isn't it? And again, that person is being killed by them by this white. So cheat whoever comes in front of them, they will just slaughter them and just they will just clean the area, clean the way for moving for traveling ahead. So that's the attitude of white people, whether they are not concerned whether that person belongs to their own country or whether that person belongs to the indigenous people or whether that person is a person who helped them in their need. No, such things are not there. See, all is being equated to profit. So such things could be seen in every incident which if you are checking, see every incident, just think about every incident which happened, every freedom fights, if you are going through in a deeper historical way, you can find that cheating is the main thing which they have done. And in the case of Kurds also, we can find that though Kurds is a nation of their own, they are in need of Kurds because he is making a revolution there. He is making a change over there and they don't want him to stay back there and they want to get back this person. So such things could be seen. So that is we can find that a lot of absurdity that is in the name of humanitarian, in the name of civilization, in the name of values, many absurd things are happening. So that's the one symbol we can find. Then comes the drums. You can find that many drums are being used. The people are beating drums and making sounds and all. For Marlowe, the sounds of drums are like the vitality of the jungle. Actually, it's their expression. Okay, it's a symbol of expression of their own emotions. Whenever they find emotional, it's a way of expression for the black people to take the drum and do it. Okay, so these are the symbols which you have to write or discuss in your essay. That is, the first one is darkness, second one is ivory, third one is Harley Quinn or the comedian. Okay, then the fourth one is drums. Then comes themes. Okay, let us discuss about themes. See, as we know, nothing. See, we can't find any plot over here, or nothing is happening much in the story. But we can find a lot of themes in this particular novel, which should be discussed, and which is the hardcore of the novel. So, what is the theme? First and foremost theme which you have to write is racism. Okay, what do you mean by racism? Racism means, that is color is being race of a person, okay, is being differentiated. Okay, the discrimination which is being made in the name of race is known as racism. And we know that the black people who they belong to a particular race and they are being considered, their race is being considered as a suppressed one or as an uncivilized and savage race, and they are being considered as criminals or they are being called as see or treated as slaves because they are out of all this definition of culture which is being defined by the white people. So, racism is the main thing which could be seen in this particular novel, which has been discussed here. And through the person curse, we can find that, see, here no black person or no indigenous person is being taken as a character or is being discussed or being brought as a character here. but much is being told about them through the other people, through Kurds. So Kurds is a person who is being, that character is being set in such a way that the talks about him reveals that if a man has got a little of light in him, a little of enlightenment inside his heart, then that person will change. Obviously, that person will change in the situation when he is exposed to the reality of what is happening in the land of Congo. Actually, Kurtz was there as an agent, isn't it? And he was such a skilled person who has made a lot of profit for this company, and he became such a famous person among the people of employers of among the employees, sorry, not employers, employees of this company, British company. So we can expect him as a person who has worked a lot to bring up the company, who has made a lot of profit by collecting a lot of ivories, and a person who has got a lot of physical skills and all. Okay, and that's the very reason why he is being assigned in the central, in the inner station. Okay, in the inner station of the uh, land of Congo. So it's a very serious assignment, very confidential assignment which is being given to Kurds. So we can find that we can read from this particular mm, thing that Kurds is a very important officer or very important agent for the company. But as things move, eventually what happens is that Kurtz, he starts to mingle with the people. And he is a person with real enlightenment inside him. And he could read a need of revolution over there in the land of Africa. And he is up to that, and he is now a person for them than a person who was there to make out of them. Okay, now that Kurtz has changed as a person, one among the aboriginal person or the indigenous persons of indigenous people of Congo, and because he is a person with the real enlightenment inside him, the real culture inside him. That's why he could find the mind, he could find a space in his mind for the people of Congo. So, racism. Racism is a thing which is a mask. Racism is a wall. Okay, racism is a wall which is being built very strongly in the mind of white, that they are just, see, they can't see through it. They don't have the real enlightenment to break out and go through the wall of racism. So racism is a serious theme which is being discussed in this particular novel. Okay, never forget to write it. Then the second theme is greed and imperialism. See why the people are behaving so. Why these whites are behaving so. Why they are up to all this horrific and terrific practices. Because of greed. The answer is greed of imperialism. Okay, so what is greed? So because we know that the England or the European countries, they got the clutch of enjoy that. We know that now, as we were discussing the political situation of Victorian era, we could find that it's a sufficient age. That is an age of all opportunities, an age of full of wealth and everything which the people are enjoying at that time. So Queen Victoria was an embodiment of wealth. Okay, it was an embodiment of sophistication. Even we know that the designing or the buildings, even in our mind, as I tell always, that we are still colonized because we still like the Victorian outlook or the Victorian designing and all. We feel it is the sophisticated or it is the royal one. Okay, a royal is equivalent to Victorian style. So this is the mind notion inside us. So this particular position of Victorianism, okay, this particular position or impression or notion of superiority or notion of royalism, royal notion is being caught hold by the England through their wealth and through their continuous effort of bringing wealth to their country from the world all over around them. So it has been done through imperialism. So imperialism is the only thing which helped them to make or get hold of such a position in the world, such a ruling position in the world. So this made them more greedy. Greediness is increasing in them. As wealth came, they became more greedy. Okay, so the greediness, it just veiled their mind of humanity. It just suppressed their mind of humanity. So they feel nothing when they see a bleeding person. They feel nothing. The greediness is making them to put a veil over them. That is, they couldn't find anything. They could feel nothing when somebody is being hurt or somebody is crying or somebody is loudly screaming out of pain. They can't find anything. The emotions, the cry, the tears, the sweat, all these things could not be seen by just because of this greediness. Okay, so the company here in this novel, the company is the imperialist power or dominant power here. It is the symbol of the company is the symbol of imperialism here, and actually, the company was in name of civilizing the natives, but the true goal is to gain power and money. Okay, so this greed of gaining power and money is the another theme which could be placed as the second theme of this particular novel. So never forget. See, the theme is very important. Just writing the story will not give you any marks, okay, for your exam, and especially for this particular novel, theme is the most important thing which you have to discuss because there's nothing to tell about the story here. See, so it's through the theme only you can tell the story. Okay, so never forget to tell all these things like racism, greed, and imperialism. And third important theme is hypocrisy and indifference. What do you mean by hypocrisy? As I told you, hypocrisy means, see, real intention will be different, and the which one which is being exposed will be another one. Okay, so we know that here it's very clear that the actually the company was there in the name of civilizing, or the white people are there in the name of civilizing the natives, but their real intention, their true goal is exploitation, or their true goal is gain, is profit, is wealth. Okay, so we can say that hypocrisy is there. Hypocrisy is all. See, we can find that the whole thing, the white are the embodiment of hypocrisy because they are hypocrites, because they are preaching one and practicing the another thing. What they are preaching is not the real practice which they are doing. So they are obviously hypocrites. And we can find indifference. See, the attitude, which how they are dealing, how they are treating with the people of indigenous people of Africa, we can find that how indifferent they are with the human, how indifferent they are with the indigenous people or the natives of Africa or Congo. So These are the two themes actually. See, we can find that the company calls Kurds back because they got the message to be excessively, see, yeah, they got the message that he Kurtz is actually moving towards a very dangerous manner which could affect their company or their profit and all. If the people are disagreeing to cooperate with them, if the indigenous people are disagreeing to cooperate with them, then it will be a great problem for them. See, and we know that, as I told you earlier, physically they are more wealthy. The black people are more wealthy. And if once they are being empowered in their mind, the white people can do nothing. So empowering them is the biggest, that is the biggest danger which really white people knew. Okay. So they are being really what is happening is that the black people are being kept in darkness. That's their purpose. Their real purpose is that the black people should be kept in darkness of education. Because they are not got educated, because they know that if once they are educated or empowered, if once they are enlightened, then it will be a great problem for them. So really, they need these people to keep in darkness. Okay, so actually the white people are looking at their own brutality and pursuing of ivory that can see actually they know that this brutality which they are doing, that's why they want to mask it. Okay, so that's the hypocritic mask which they are putting, that they know this brutal thing which they are doing and they are pursuing ivory out of it with this brutality. And if once they are being these people are being empowered, it will be a great problem for them. So they are becoming indifferent with them, and that is the very reason why Kurds is being brought back. Okay, next theme. Okay, the fourth theme you can write as civilization and barbarians. Again, we have talked about it. Civilization means the name of civilizing, that is they are being called brought there in the name of civilization. But what is real civilization? Are the white people civilized? Are they cultured? These are the questions which should be asked, and which should be pointed fingered upon them itself, that whether they are really civilized. And the answer which Joseph Conrad is giving is that no, the white people are not civilized because they are having a heart of darkness. So the heart of darkness is being named for the white people, not for the people of indigenous people. See, at the beginning, we may find that the heart of darkness is being the name, the topic is being given for the Congo, people of Congo. No, he is pinpointing, he is naming it for the people of white who are really in the darkness, heart of darkness. Okay, so in the name of civilization, actually they are becoming barbarians. So who here the theme is civilization and barbarianism. What do you mean by barbarian? See, savage people, uncultured. Okay, so civilization and barbarianism. So this is a very serious theme, and which is being discussed here. So who is really civilized and who is barbarian? Okay, it has been told that white are civilized. It has been claimed that white are civilized and black are barbarians. But really, conquered is just replacing it. That is, whites are actually, whites are barbarians and blacks are civilized, because they are loving the love which they show towards Kurds. Actually the loyalty that they are showing, the people who are just see they are protecting Kurds. When Marlowe is approaching them, we can find that they know that they don't have enough power with them, they don't have enough weapons with them. They may have the fear inside them that the white people may be having weapons like guns and all, which are not with them. They do have just arrows and bows and arrows. But even though they don't want Kurds to go back, and they don't want Marlowe to take Kurds away from them, because they love them, and they are they are coming forth, and they are attacking Marlowe and the company people, isn't it? So that's the love which they are saying. They are expressing their love. That is the real civilization. The expression of love and standing for the one who loved them. That is civilization. So here we can see that the people of Congo, they are standing for Kurds who loved them, who cared them, who really educated them, who really revolutionized them. So they are standing for them, and they are reciprocating that love. They are the people of the indigenous people who are being called as barbarians. They are really, we can find them as civilized because they are reciprocating the love. So the person who should be called civilized is a person who can understand love and reciprocate it. See, all the life is all about love. The the need, the wealth is really the care and love. See, what for money is? Money is for loving and caring and living and enjoyment. And the real enjoyment is loving and getting love and giving love. So if that particular real message is not being called God for a person, then that person can never be called as civilized. So here we can find that the Congo, the indigenous people, they are reciprocating the love for girls. They are protecting him. And when they are about to attack the people of white, when he's been brought in stretchers, then Kurds, when Kurds asked them to be calm, they are obeying him. Just think how what they are. See, they are actually the expressions of real management. See, we are getting management classes, and in management classes we are being taught that nowadays for everything there is management, isn't it? For business management, human resource management, educational management, everywhere we can find that. Wherever there is management classes, we can find that obeying the leadership quality, upward communication, downward communication, and all. We are learning all these things in our textbooks as theories. But here we can find that how the people of Kurd see how how the people of indigenous people are dealing, keeping all the values, or giving all the values for their leader Kurds. Just think. Okay. So what's going on? See, is there any problem? Am I audible, children?
No problem, ma'am. It's okay.
Okay, okay.
Can hear.
Yeah, thank you. So that is civilization and barbarianism. So that's the theme, another thing which you have to discuss in your essay. That is, who is really civilized, and who are really barbarians. Okay, so those who can't find the suffering of others, those who can't see through the real human, then they are called barbarians. So actually, we have to read here. Joseph Conrad has renamed civilization and barbarianism. Okay. Then the last theme. The last theme is there is a route to track the wheels of colonization by Europeans. Okay. So here, actually, this novel, the whole novel written by Joseph Conrad, it is actually a route for the historians to learn. The whole story that you have to really write in your essay, that This is a piece of specimen through which anybody could travel to the history of Africa. Okay, because it has got the real experiences. I have told you earlier in my in the first part of this session itself. I have told you that see, it's this particular novel is an autobiographical novel. So actually, whatever things here discussed is the real thing. Okay, whatever has been discussed is the real experience of Joseph Conrad, and so we can. There is reality here. Reality is being expressed through a way of story. Okay, so really, it is a piece of specimen which could be referred as historical experiences of Joseph Conrad, and it reveals the real history of Congo, especially the African area, especially the Congo. Okay, and so we can call it as it's a route to track the wheels of colonialism by Europe. So, if somebody want to know more about the colonialism, what really colonialism was, what was the practice done by Europeans by the name of colonialism, such things should could be tracked back by with the help of Heart of Darkness. See, here we have just discussed the peripheral things, and I know that, see, I have given you the complete idea that how you have to approach this novel. Now you have got the complete idea, the theme about the novel, and what for the novel is being written, and what is Joseph Conrad up to, and really what is revealed through this novel and all. Now you have to read the novel, at least very, if you have got no time with you, at least you have to read a very detailed summary, not a short summary, detailed summary at least. Okay. I would recommend to read the real text itself. If there's no time, the time is not permitting, you may read the summary of the novel. But whenever you are reading the summary, never go for very short summaries, because you will miss a lot of experiences, especially in the in the case of Heart of Darkness and all. In every junctures, in the every junctures of the novels, you can find new experiences. You can experience the world of Congo through the lines of, or through the words of Joseph Conrad. So you have to, it's well and good if you get time, you just experience this through the experience it. Okay, if you're reading, you can will get that experience of going for a voyage to Congo. Okay, now that we have finished the whole thing, and now let me tell you that in your study material, you can find all these discussions, as I told you about the Joseph Conrad's area, that is European map is given there. You will get a good idea about the colonialism at the time of that particular time, and about Poland, and then the King Leopold is being discussed here. I have told about it. Okay, you can find it here, and the Congo. What how, it is the King Leopold II. Okay, who came there and who actually started this practice of exploitation first, and then you can find the white man in the heart of darkness. Now, as the caption, by hearing the caption itself, you can understand what it's about. See, we have discussed everything. I have touched every area. Then comes the title of the text. Obviously, it's a great thing. The question may ask about the title of the text, that is Heart of Darkness. And now you know what is the real darkness, who are the hearts of darkness and who are not the hearts of darkness, and actually which hearts are being called as darkness, and what is the real darkness and all. We have discussed here, and you have to write in such a manner Then in unit 2, you can find literary analysis, okay? And as you read this, you can find more and more points. We have discussed everything here, the point of view, that is everything. Marlowe outside the heart of darkness, then Marlowe and the heart of darkness, then Marlowe framed. See, you can find here a picture is given here. Then, yeah, action and adventure and all. Then literary analysis again makes lesson and approach the meanings. See, some cuttings are given there, lines are given there. You can just read it and you can use it for your. See, if you're learning it, you can use it for your answers. That you can quote it. Some dialogues are there. And some comments, okay, it is the critical comments by different peoples which are given, so you can just take those comments one or two, please, if you, it's well and good if you learn that and write it in your, yeah, exam. Then, yeah, then important thing, yeah, race, that's very important lesson, that is unit 4, okay, that is race, empire, gender in heart of darkness. It's very, very important, such a question may be asked, so please read that portion very detailed manner and try to make an essay out of it. So here everything we have discussed here, but see, by just listening this session, you can't be able to write an essay of 20 marks, okay, so you have to read this, make points and prepare an essay. That's Kipling's that raise, yeah, raise, then Marlowe again, and Kurds, natives, all these things are given here, all about race, we have told it. Then gender, that is the women and white women, I told it, African women. Then, so the difference between white women and African women, how they are actually experiencing their life. That is the white women out there and the women in Congo. So then the lengthening shadow. Yeah. Now that this is not that much needed. Say the most important area is the race, that unit 4, never neglect it, okay, so that you'll get a good area to answer. Enough stuff will be there if you read it and make points out of it. Okay, so never forget to learn unit 4. It's very important. It's the critical area. All other things we have discussed in a very deeper manner. So I think we have done it. And if there is any doubt, please you can ask me through this class itself. Any doubts, students?
No, ma'am.
Is it clear for you?
Yes, yes, ma'am.
Okay. Now, hope you are learning, going through the things. See, though your examination has been postponed, but the actually what happens is that in such cases, the date will be coming. Say suddenly they'll tell the date, and you won't get enough time to prepare after the announcement of date of examination. So don't stop preparing. Don't think that you'll get enough time after they as they announce the date. So please don't stop preparing. So keep on. Anyway, you have got enough good enough time to deal with the novels and all. I think especially the language and linguistic, don't neglect it. So it's quite easy if you learn, see, in a systematic way. If you're learning and preparing essays and all, you can make it very easily. But if you are neglecting, then it will be hard enough to tackle with the examination. So please go through each study materials and read it. Okay, find time for every day. See, especially for I'm talking about the girls over there. I know that they'll be indulged in many households and all. So, but see, find time every day. Please keep a little bit time aside for this learning, reading for your exam. So never neglect your studies. Okay. Then anything more? See, and what I have to say is that go through the question papers and try to answer it and find that, see, by reading the question paper itself, you'll find that, yeah, you can get an idea that whether you can write it or are you confident in it. Okay. So first, if you are reading the question paper and then you are preparing, the benefit is that you will get an idea while you're reading that what all things you will have to write in the examination. So first, before going through the first before taking a particular paper, what you have to do is that first you just read out the question papers or one or two or three question papers and just note down the questions from that particular novel or that particular book and then read, then start learning. And then you'll have that mind of say setting the points inside your mind while and preparing yourself in your mind a way of answering and all. So that's the best way how to the best way how to prepare for the examination, especially for PG and all. So hope you can hope you'll do it. Okay. And whenever you find any doubts, you can just contact me on, as you know, my WhatsApp number. You can just leave a voice clip and I'll just answer it. Okay. Anything more? Okay, then let's sign off. Thank you. We'll meet tomorrow. Again, the next session will be there with book 7, and I'll send the schedule through the WhatsApp. Okay. Till then, goodbye.